and doing a great job here are archers in the center of a protective circle of infantry. This is what the formations are used for. In the world of Cavalry, there are 4 types of forest bandit. You have the bushwhacker, the freebooter, the forest bandit, and the forest bandit boss, all of them with their own different skills and strengths, but how good are they in an army of their own? Most of the time you'll find them if you're capturing them as prisoners and they eventually want to join. But what about if you had a whole army of forest bandits? How would it fare? Well, in today's video, we're going to find out just how good an army of forest bandits only could really be. First off, before I quickly get into the video, I'll go into campaign options and I will show you that everything is unrealistic. I don't know why so many people have such a big ball ache about me showing it's unrealistic. Player received damage is on very easy because I'm not going to be part of the battles. We're just going to be watching them, so that's why that's on. And yeah, everything else is just on normal. So yeah, that's all the settings. So we have 11 bushwhackers. These guys are pretty lightly equipped. They have some alright armor for starter guys. It's probably about the same as looters, but unlike looters, they have bows and a lot of arrows, making forest bandits actually a little bit more deadly than their looter counterparts. Their bow proficiency is only 40 though, so they're not the most accurate in the world. Well, here we are in the battle. These guys looking pretty cool. Some have hoods, some don't, but to be fair, the hoods don't leave much armor anyway. And off they go. The first shot's being fired. As you can see, they're not most accurate things in the world. But we are getting some arrows coming in now. They're hitting, but they don't have quite the power to get too many kills. It's going to take about 3 or 4 arrows, I expect, to take down one of these looters, since they are the lowest level archer. Oh, and one has been shot down so far. Another one shot to the head now. There's 3 left coming in. And they have all been taken down. That was pretty quick. That was pretty easy. Nothing too much to handle. Now, going up against a party of 22 looters could be a different story. But remember, they do still have bows, so they're able to shoot off way before anyone else. In come the looters now, moving forward towards the line of only 10 of these guys. And as you can see, they're not very accurate. They are missing a lot of shots, which is not going to be great because these looters will be able to beat them when it comes to melee. But the closer they get, the more they're able to take out, the more accurate they become. Here they go, up nice and close. They're starting to get really close. We're getting a few kills in now, but the melee has begun. The looters are really up nice and close, but it seems like we've been able to take out just enough to be able to survive this. I mean, if it was all of those guys that came up against our 10 bushwhackers, I think it would be a different story. But since we were able to take out a great number before they even got here, my guys came out victorious. Now, I think this is going to be a different story. I think with 29 looters might just be a few too many for us to handle. But we're going to see as we're going to start firing pretty soon. Now, these guys don't have the range of many of the other archers, but as they are still projectile troops, they're still going to do a lot of damage before the looters can get anywhere close. And in they come now, firing from a great distance. Shots coming in on these guys, hitting chest, body. They really need to get those headshots there if they want to do some proper damage. And some rocks are being thrown. Oh yes, the rocks will do something, but mostly only stunning. But then again, stunning against archers is great because it means that they get 1 less shot off than they normally would be able to. And in come these guys, still taking some heavy fire, and the clash happens in the middle now, going up against each other. Some rocks coming in, doing a little bit of damage, but these guys are slightly getting overwhelmed by the looters, it seems. And yes, that looks like that is just a few too many for the bushwhackers to be able to take out. The looters are starting to overwhelm now. The looters have finished off the 10 bushwhackers. And now upgraded, some bushwhackers turn into freebooters. These guys have heavier armor, better bows, and better arrows. And that is not even mentioning the increased bow proficiency from 40 up to 70. These guys should do a pretty good job of taking out most things that come from afar. Here we have 31 men. I have found a party of 48, and unfortunately these guys might be pretty tough, but they have 32 recruits, so really they're not going to be that too tricky to take those guys out. We just have to watch out for the champions and him himself who's on horseback. Whilst we are outnumbered, I think my bushwhackers and freebooters could do a decent amount of damage. We're actually going to position our guys on the side of this hill here, so we've got a good amount of range to start shooting at these people. We can see them coming over now. Moving up onto the hill, can we get into position? Okay, we have started firing now. The first few shots coming off on the enemy. I don't know if we've got many hits yet. Okay, we're starting to get some hits now. They do have quite a few crossbowmen. But it looks like they don't have their shields in front, so they are taking a beating from our freebooters and bushwhackers. Oh, the shots coming in now, headshots there, absolutely brutal through the front of the forehead. 2 in a row, and the kills are really starting to pop in. Okay, this is doing a lot of damage. This is doing much better than I predicted they would do. Go on, lads. Go on, lads. These kills are incredible. Whilst we're heavily outnumbered, just the sheer amount of arrows coming in. But their leader is coming in now. I don't want to do anything to try and kill this guy. I want to leave it to my men. But whether they're going to be able to kill him because of his heavy armor is questionable. Is he coming back round, or has he retreated from battle? I've got a feeling he'll be coming back round. Let's get my guys to charge just so they can move over this hill and hopefully get some shots in. Where has he gone? Oh, I hear him to my right. Here he is, coming back in for another kill. He is running this way. He is taking arrows to the back, though. His shield is not big enough to stop these amount of arrows. And down he goes, taken out by my archers. And poor horse. That amount of arrows is not good for anybody. And there we have it. My party with 37 kills. 33 deaths to them and 0 to me. With 50 freebooters now in our army, all the bushwhackers upgraded, I feel like we are truly going to become the Count Killer. The enemy moving up. They have some pretty heavy guys, but we have many archers to keep them at bay. Our men readying their bows, seeing the enemy off in the distance, not quite in range, but soon they start to fire. And the shots are given. These guys are equipped with mail or leathers and some furs. They can take a bit of a beating from weaker projectile units, but if they get hit by crossbow bolts or even axes, they're going to go down pretty quick. Unfortunately, the enemy here do have some ranged, more ranged than the last battle we fought, meaning that they're going to be doing some returning fire, but that guy just got shot in the foot. These guys are taking a massive beating. You can see them going down one by one. Come on, lads. Keep those kills coming in. We're doing a great job. I don't think we've lost anyone just yet. Oh, we've got 1 wounded. Okay, they have shot one of our guys, but it's good for now. I've got my guys in loose spacing just to make them a bit more susceptible to dodging their arrows. What's this I see? They're not pulling back, are they? There's no way they're pulling back already. Well, there are a few brave men coming into our guys. Will they be able to push through? Oh, he's having second thoughts. The amount of arrows in him now. And down he goes, riddled. There's a few more that haven't quite retreated yet, but it looks like that's the way they're going to be going pretty soon. Their shields are just too small. Oh, and there's a couple cavalry charging in. One has been taken down. There's another cav there. He's probably going to go down pretty soon. He doesn't have a heavy horse, so his horse is going to be a very vulnerable target. This guy, however, does. But it looks like he is really taking a hit. And a shot to the head there. Not gone down just yet, but he's going to be very, very weak and on low health. Did really the whole of the main army just retreat? It looks like... Oh, we got a guy being taken out there. Remember, on realistic difficulty, they will do a lot of damage to our guys. But fortunately, we've been able to take them out before they really get the chance to. Now in my army, I've upgraded some of the freebooters to forest bandits. Let's have a look at these guys. Their bow goes up to 150, and from the jump of 70, that's going to prove to be very useful on the battlefield. These guys don't take no for an answer when it comes to shooting arrows in the side of peasants. But it's not just peasants that they're good at killing. Heavily armored knights also are very vulnerable to these guys since they have the better piercing arrows. Also, with longer bows to their former counterparts, they can shoot way before anyone could before. As you can see, the enemy already in range. Speaking of the enemy, what we have here today is 110 enemy soldiers to my 54 friendly soldiers. Yes, I have a mixture of forest bandits and freebooters, but I think we're going to be very well off. 22 forest bandits as well, and you can see they are getting the majority of the kills, even though there's less of them. The arrows really starting to come in, and it looks like their front archer line has decided to pull behind their infantry just for safekeeping, but they are being shot in the backs now without their front heavy armor, and it leaves the infantry with their very light tunics to be the subject to my piercing arrows. And down they go like a knife through butter, or should I say an arrow through an empire. Some of the cavalry coming in. This cavalry could prove to be a little bit of an issue. This guy's coming in, but he doesn't have a shield. He's going to go down pretty soon, being chased by the forest bandits. And down, shot in the ass. That is the best way to take him out. And it looks like they run already. Time to get my guys to charge and pursue the fleeing enemies. A few guys here trying to make their escape. I'm not sure they're going to be too successful though, because they are exposing their weak and soft squishy backs to my arrows. And what a gorgeous game this is. My freebooters and forest bandits clearing off the retreating enemies. done their job for the day. The leader of the enemy in shame as his men retreat. He's trying to get them back into the battlefield, but it doesn't look like they want to. He's trying to keep them there, but being chased by my men, it seems like it's the end. But it's not only in open warfare we need to test them out. What about when we go into the depths of a siege? A siege is a somewhat complex affair. You don't just have to worry about finding a hill and getting some good shots off, you have to be able to get in down and dirty in melee as well, and I think this is where we're going to find the weakness of the Forest Bandits. We have 80 Forest Bandits. Now, we upgraded all of our bushwhackers and free looters to this stage, so we have a fair force, and open ground they might be able to do a fantastic job, but I think this is going to be a different story. With arrows and bolts coming down from the crenellations, also under fire by the siege weapon that is currently being built by the enemy, will they be able to find enough cover? And even if they do, will we fight well when we get onto the actual walls themselves? Now, as always, it looks like the enemy are mustering up an army to try and stop us. If they do, we will try and take them on the flat ground. If not, we will head straight into the castle. And here we have it. Attacked by a very large force of 145 men to our 81, but it's nothing that I don't think we can handle. Setting up on the hill, as we saw in the last battle, even though we had fewer Forest Bandits, they got more kills than the freebooters that we had before. Horse archers coming in, they are taking some many fire, and if horse archers do have one proper counter, it is foot archers. With the increased arrow capacity and of course accuracy, because we're not riding on a goddamn horse, we should be able to take them out pretty well. And so it begins. The firing down on the enemy now. They are taking many an arrow. Headshots all around. This is extremely goddamn brutal. Look at that kill feed. That is something to behold. And the cavalry are coming in. They are going to be disrupting our formation, but it looks like we're able to take them out pretty good. And these Forest Bandits, remember, do have axes, which, if anyone doesn't know, Mountain Blade axes have more armor piercing than their sword counterparts. And there it goes. The enemy running, but it does not matter. Oh, yes. The amount of arrows coming in. One guy here, he's trying to fight back, putting up a shield, but that is a tiny little shield, my friend. I feel like this isn't going to end too well for you. And down he goes. An arrow to the neck finished him off, and a glitch in the snow sealed his name in Bannerlord. A few more cavalry coming back in to try and finish us off, but the rest of their army has gone, and so has that man's horse. From a child, he loved it and cared for it, and one day, 15 years later, he takes it into battle, and it's shot by a goddamn Forest Bandit. My men now, just chasing off the remnants. Goodbye, lads. You're dead. You're dead. And here we have the snowy assault. A first round of arrows is taken off, but the sergeants have taken over and told our men to split off. Probably a good idea, since there's catapults coming in. Unfortunately, our battering ram has already been hit. That's going to do a lot of damage to its health. If we lose this battering ram, it's... oh, another hit. It's down to our siege tower, which isn't the most reliable. We have a couple of freebooters in the mix here with our Forest Bandits, but mostly an army of about 80 Forest Bandits coming in. They're coming over this side to get behind the cover here, but catapult bolts are coming in now, thick and fast, just missing though, thankfully. As you can see, there are a couple of ladders over on this side, but it is heavily defended. I have a feeling that this is going to go down. I don't think this was a battering ram, and just as I said, down it goes. Down it goes. But the charge hasn't been given yet, so we've got some men just shooting behind the barricades here. Fortunately, they are behind cover, so we shouldn't take too many losses at all. As you can see by the kill feed, we're getting a few kills here and there, but nothing too drastic yet. The enemy's now seeing the tower coming up, but they are also taking some fire from our guarding Forest Bandits. Some arrows just about missing there. Unfortunately, our guys that are on the siege tower are dying because they can't have any way of covering themselves. And look at that kill feed. This is absolutely brutal. This is not a great siege design for the attackers. We're just being shot from above there. You can see them poking through them because we have no shields. It's so goddamn brutal. Guys, no. Don't do it. Don't do it. They took too much of a beating. They're running. They're running, men. Why? Well, here we are. We are back now again. And wow. That was pretty goddamn brutal. We lost many men, but we have upgraded and replenished our guys. Now back with the Forest Bandits, but with some freebooters to try and back us up, and of course some Forest Bandit bosses. Now these guys are different. They don't have the bows, but what they do have are shields and axes. This time, we're going to deploy the siege tower on this side, hopefully making it a little bit easier to get onto the wall. And here we are, out of the snow now, with more men, and men that do have shields as well. They're going to be better for defending, so our archers will be able to just perch behind them. The rocks coming in again, they are aiming straight for that battering ram again. And with now the ability to move faster without the siege tower, my men are able to get cover behind this rock here, meaning that they can return fire with some decent amount of cover. Taking and returning fire all around, it looks like we have a better situation, I think, on this side at least. Okay, they are now aiming rocks at our siege tower. This is brutal, absolutely brutal. We need to get up there as soon as possible. And look at this defense they have mounted. They have some great guys on the walls here. This could be a fortress that is impenetrable at the moment. Putting my guys in loose formations, more of them are able to get shots off now. We're actually seeing a turn in the kill count now. An absolute brutal slaughter now with my arrows being able to fire up. Yeah, I delegated my command to the sergeants, but it seemed like that wasn't the best way for getting my men to shoot back. As you can see, the dead bodies on this side, absolutely brutal. Up comes the siege tower. We've actually made it up now. It's the time to see how well my guys do in melee. Hopefully they send up some of the bosses first, but it looks like the archers are going. Oh god. But up goes some of the bosses, trying to do some damage there. Starting to push my men down the siege tower a little bit. And they have, funnily enough, pulled back. Somehow, we've made it onto the walls. Maybe this isn't going to be so impenetrable after all. Our guys coming up to the gate, if they can get that thing open, it's going to prove to be much easier for the rest of our army. And these forest bandit bosses are overpowered as hell. 3 of them taking out 5, 6, 7 of the enemy. Look at them go. Moving on to the second part of the castle, we move through this gate, and yes, we're taking some fire as we're being funneled through, but we're able to push through now. They have some reinforcement guys on the walls. This castle design is probably my favorite out of all of them. It is absolutely gorgeous. But these guys on this side just being slaughtered now. They can't get down because of the pelting of arrows. Oh my word. I have never seen something so brutal in my life. It's just a firing line at this point, an absolute firing line. And is that it? Have we taken over the castle with nothing but forest bandits? I think we have. No one thought it could be done, but somehow we've accomplished such a thing. And you lads better be cheering. You have done something today absolutely incredible. Looking at the results here, we can see that we lost 27 men to the death of death, and we lost 22 men to the wounded of the wounded. But with 156 kills, it is no match for the damage we dealt on the enemy. But it gets to that point in every video where we do the final big battle, and this is it. 500 men. In my party, as we can see, we have 200 forest bandits and 300 forest bandit bosses. 500 men in total. We're just besieging this castle so we can bring in the big armies of the Empire. They're going to bring a massive force to try and take us on, it seems. And the first few armies are coming in now. We're drawing them in thick and fast. We're going to wait until they properly come and catch up with us. More armies coming in. Oh, yes. It's looking like 896 against my 529. Look at them over there. There is a lot of them, but there's also a lot of me. And here we go, starting to fire at their cavalry. Their cavalry coming in now. These are horse archers, but because they are light horses, they're going down pretty quickly, especially to my forest bandits, who have some great bowing potential. And my, is this a slaughter and a half. Looking at the kill feed there, you can see them going down like anything. Not really a competition or anything worth worrying about there. But what could be something worth to worry about is what's coming over the hill next. The sheer mass of Empire troops. They are now firing on our men. Arrows coming in, but we have the shields. Luckily, our guys are very powerful, especially when in the shield wall like so. Returning fire, but that is a mass and a half coming down over the hill. Come on, guys, do your bits. Let's have a look at the kill feed. How is it going now? Oh, wow, we are getting many kills. Men going down left, right, and center. Really, the thick of arrows, they are blotting out the sun. They do have shields, but their shields aren't going to be that powerful for now. The cavalry is pulling back, probably ready to do a charge at the end, but if we put it into slow motion, we can see, oh, a shot to the head right there. Brutal. And the clash is about to come into the middle. If we look again at the kill feed, we can see we're still getting the sheer amount of kills, but this is where they can start to turn the tide. Our infantry isn't as powerful as them, so we just have to hold them until our guys can do their job. Our men now fighting back every which way. Our last few reinforcements are coming in, meaning that we have lost a few, but fortunately not too many yet. We still are pushing the back. We have the better armor, and hopefully the better fighters. And a fantastic job there. We managed to take out their first front line, but I fear there's going to be more reinforcements coming in soon. But these guys are just running. And look at this guy. A forest bandit who's supposed to be with his bow, just chasing him down on foot. But as you can see, they've got very good athletics, so they're not going to let these guys get away if they can help it. But that is not it. That was not even half of the Empire forces. They are charging in full now. But even from this sort of distance, taking a beating from the incoming arrows, even though they're so spread out, our guys are just so sheer en masse and accurate to some extent that we're still able to get some amazing hits in. Oh, we have a Legionary coming in now pretty fast. He's got good armor, but it wasn't enough to defend him from the sheer amount of arrows. And I think because these guys are in such a rabble of a formation, they're not even going to make it into the front line because they don't have the power. As soon as they get there, just taken out instantly by our shields. They cannot break through. Reinforcing shields coming in just to back them up, but we have such a big line here, it's not going to matter. What is worrying me is what's on the horizon though. That cavalry force, that could be a charge that we have to watch out for. They're just not able to break through at all. We're just holding our shields up, getting axe hits in there, and as soon as we need them, reinforcements coming through. But in comes the cavalry charge. This could be absolutely brutal. If we zoom out, we can see they're getting many kills. That was a very good cavalry charge. As we can see by the kill feed, they managed to get so many kills on our men. We're going to put in the full charge just to see if we can try and beat them back, but they're going to be doing a lot of damage to our forest bandits. Our forest bandits taking so many hits. If we look in close here, our front line is still strong. We still have a large amount of men, and unfortunately their infantry are mostly taken care of, so it's just their cavalry and archers to deal with now. Judging by the kill feed though, we're starting to take it back. That was a brutal charge, but it's nothing we couldn't handle for a long period of time. Their cavalry force is still strong, but they don't have anything to support it now. Their infantry and archers are running from the battlefield. It is a shameful display. Moving our men into a close formation because it is just cavalry now. So we're going to try and get them into squares and circles to see if we can try and beat these guys down. And doing a great job here. Our archers in the center of a protective circle of infantry. This is what the formations are used for. Look at these guys doing a fantastic job here. Cavalry still being able to push through because we don't have spears to stop them in their place, but as soon as they get in, it's just an absolute mixer. Our archers in the middle still with their axes doing their bit to do their job, and it looks like there goes the cavalry once and for all. And look at that, the surviving men doing a fantastic job protecting each other, doing what they're supposed to do. A few forest bandits shooting off as well. What a beautiful shield wall that looks like. A few more cavalry coming in, but they're pretty much dealt with at this point. Archers just taking their place in the center of the infantry, protect them from the cavalry, but really this cavalry, as soon as it gets in, taken out instantly. No real threat. This is an immense amount of forest bandits, an amount that you probably would never be able to get in the game, but that doesn't mean it's not goddamn awesome. Look at these guys in true formation. The bushwhackers, they're decent against looters and lighter armor troopers. The freebooters, they can get the medium to some heavy troopers if you have the numbers. The forest bandits, not only capable at longer ranged fire, but also when it comes to melee with their armor piercing axes. And of course the bosses, really great at holding a strong, solid line. So yeah, forest bandits, they're about as good you're gonna get for the bandit range. Oh god. Oh god. So thank you so much friends for watching, I really appreciate it. If you want me to test out any other troops, make sure you leave a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you like seeing some good bits of slaughter, like the video. But until then, I will see you in the next one. Oh no.